Welcome, everybody. It's SEMA 2014. We're here on the beautiful SEMA Central stage. I'm Dennis Pitzenbarger, sitting next to John Ellis, a man that I've already figured out within knowing for 10 minutes has a much bigger brain pan than me, because you deal with software and computers and tuning, and all of that is so much of the future with automobiles, but you deal in a particular category when it comes to software, which is integrating what it will be not only safety mandates going into the future, but so much about what is going to change within the electronic side of the automobile industry. First off, thank you for coming up here to SEMA Central.
No, thank you very much for inviting me. Appreciate it.
Let's talk a little bit about your background. You have a tremendous background in software. Let's start with that.
So I grew up as an engineer at Motorola doing connectivity and bringing up cellular systems. Left Motorola and got brought over to Ford to actually bring connectivity to Ford and software to Ford. And did a 3-year stint there where we were focused on connectivity and software. So software broadly, your phone, the cloud, the car, and what that meant. Delivered the first ever automotive industry's developer program, first ever developer software conference, first ever open source software packages for APIs for the vehicle. So not a lot of good industry firsts. That's
cool. Now, what are you working on these days? Because we talked a little bit about, you know, these inundations that are coming up 2017 between car to car. Some might call it Big Brother, some might call it a good way to force safety issues to go forward. What does this mean to the people out here that are taking brand new vehicles and modding them?
It means probably 3 different things. Number one is there's very similar, we expect, we don't know yet, but we expect very similar to what the government did with respect to electronic stability control, that you will not knowingly be able to modify a vehicle and leave it out of compliance with the mandate. So in stability control, you must leave the vehicle in compliance. Very similar, we're going to expect to see the same thing in the connectivity space, so you know, active safety systems, et cetera. Modders, aftermarket, will not be able to knowingly leave the vehicle crippled in that sense. So to that end, SEMA today announced a program called Vehicle Electronics Program, modeled very similarly on the Vehicle Dynamics program that we introduced 8 years ago. And it's designed to do that, to help SEMA members and those who want to be SEMA members work in this space, do it safely, and be able to still make a profit on it.
What do you see as the future? Because I know that it's going to be a big part of the next generation of hot rodders. I mean, I'm neither young nor old, I'm 44 years old, but I have also adopted electronics as part of what is today's SEMA world, if that's what you want to call it. Where do you see this on, say, you know, if I call it 30 to 40% of the cars out there have some sort of electronics, whether it be a modern stability control problem or even you know, something that's along the lines of a digital tune, where do you see that being integrated in, say, 5, 10, 15 years?
So 3 parts of the answer to that. Number one, on the vehicle, today it's 40% of the vehicle's electronics.
That was a good guess for me.
Yeah, no, it's 40% of the vehicle's electronics, and we're expecting it to go on the higher end vehicles more and more. Most of it driven by your CAFE standards, your emissions, and your you know, EPA stuff. But we're also seeing an increase in software generally in the head unit for customer, you know, customization. I want my car to be different than you, and yet we want the same vehicle, but we want the car to be different. So from that standpoint, we're seeing a significant amount of investment. But what's bigger than that is the automobile, the definition of the automobile has changed. It's the car plus a cell phone plus a cloud. It's this interconnection. So from that standpoint, when you talk about modding in 5, 10, 15, 20 years, I could be modding car-based or cloud-based navigation systems, which are still part of the vehicle experience, and I'm still considered a modder. So by doing this, we actually open the SEMA aftermarket to a much broader audience. You know,
sure.
People who they use compute, you know, their version of horsepower is compute power. Their version of the wrench is, you know, keyboards. So it's actually a pretty cool time to be both a modder and to be a SEMA member.
And that's a great, you know what, that you just absolutely made the light bulb go on above my head, because where one person might say, I want to mod my car with a power adder and suspension and brakes and tires, there is a much broader audience. You brought it up now. All of a sudden, more power within the computer,
Absolutely.
More power within the connectivity, man.
Absolutely, and I can change the way you buy a car from Ford Motor Company with a navigation package A, but then you can change it to be a navigation package B. That's still modding, but you don't have to touch the vehicle to do that, right? So that's what this opportunity really represents for people.
That's amazing. Now listen, if people want to get in touch with you with this new program that SEMA just launched, if they want to be not only a member, but our current members, get in touch with you and really take this and embrace it, how do they do it?
Right, you just go to SEMA.org and you're going to go to the technology section, and right on top of there you'll find all about the program. We're going to unlaunch the website here soon.
Well, excellent. Thank you so much for coming on SEMA Central.
Appreciate it.
More coming from right here, SEMA Central, SEMA 2014 in just a moment.